Hey guys, it's David from Gigi's Fabric Shop, home of Janome Junkies and Juki Junkies, and in today's video we're going to be going over all of the amazing accessories and features that come with the M8 Janome sewing machine. This is kind of like an unboxing. We just don't like to call it unboxing because it's so basic. We've pretty much unboxed everything, laid it out. You're going to be able to figure out everything that comes with the machine, what to expect when you open it up, but we're also going to talk about the machine and go over some of its core features and what we love about it here at Janome Junkies. So we're going to structure this video in a few different parts. We're going to start off at the beginning, going over the physical machine, talking about all the features that are built into it, all the specs and all of the good stuff on just the machine itself. And then we're going to talk about all of the accessories that come with it. And then at the end, we'll kind of recap and highlight some of our favorite things that this machine has to offer. As you may see, this machine is absolutely gorgeous. And it has very great features built into it. It has a 13.5-inch throat space, allowing you to do some amazing quilting work, free motion quilting, anything you can imagine. This machine has plenty of space. Most home sewing machines are going to be around 6 to 9 inches. Some of the higher end models are around 12 inches of throat space. So it's giving you a perfect footprint to start doing anything you can imagine as far as free motion quilting big quilts, or if you're bag making or whatever you're doing, this space is going to allow you to do it without running into any walls. Let's talk about the frame and the body of this machine, which is also one of my favorite features. I love metal frames. I love metal bodies. I think that it really just makes the machine stand out and it makes it feel very timeless and robust. And this machine has an all metal base here. So this is an all metal base and it's very slick. If you ever felt a metal base versus a plastic base, you'll notice that the material just glides right over it with no issue. So it makes free motion quilting so smooth and it's very, very nice. I also love that the core of this machine is an aluminum die cast frame, making it very heavy duty and robust. And if you have it paired with a proper table that is strong and can support this machine well, you will have absolutely no vibrations when sewing because this machine is pretty heavy. So it's going to stay planted on that table and not be wobbling around and feel like an earthquake's happening every time you go to sew. One thing I like about this machine as well is it has a very powerful motor. So this machine sews up to 1,300 stitches per minute. The HD9 sews at I think 1,500 stitches per minute, and most computerized machines are around 1,050 stitches per minute. So this machine is actually the closest computerized machine that I know of that sews that fast, which usually means the motor is a lot bigger than the other motors, because with a computerized machine, typically, you could throw an HD9 motor in a computerized machine and it's not going to even be anywhere near that speed because you have all these other gears that are taking away the power to make the machine go fast. But this machine has a large enough motor to bypass all of that lost power from all those gears and still give you a very, very powerful machine and sew really fast. So let's talk about where you're going to put those spools to sew all the projects that you can sew on this machine. So this machine has a vertical thread stand, which I absolutely love because you can throw your large king spools on here and your mini spools with no issue. And also you don't really need to use spool caps when you're using these vertical thread stands because the thread is just going to easily come right off. And if it's not easily coming right off, then we probably need to figure out why it's not coming off easily. Maybe we need to flip that cone around or something like that. So this is a very nice feature on this machine. There's no laying your spools horizontally and it falling off and then you're having to put the spool cap on and then stuff's getting wrapped around it. You just throw your spools on here vertically and it's going to have no issues. And then of course we have our bobbin winder, which I don't know. Oh, I guess the machine just fell asleep on us and I had to press a button for all the lights to turn back on. The independent bobbin winder you can just push over, and then when you press the bobbin winding button that's located right next to the bobbin winder, so you don't have to search around or go through any menus to figure it out, you just press it and it's super quiet. Listen to that. You can literally hear nothing, maybe a little bit, but not much. So that's a really nice feature, the bobbin winder. Very quiet, very easy to use, and you can wind very even, tight bobbins with this machine. I've done it before many times, and it winds a very nice bobbin. Of course, it's a Class 15A bobbin on this machine. It's a clear bobbin. You want to always use a Janome authentic bobbin when running these machines, but you can use those Class 15A pre-wound bobbins as well if that's something you like to have instead of winding your own bobbins. Let's talk about the front of this machine a little bit. So let me go around front and just kind of get a better angle to talk about. So all of your core features that you're going to be using every time you go to sew are going to be located right here. So you've got your lock stitch button, and you're going to see when it's orange, it's highlighted, means it's actually activated. You got your thread cutter button. This is going to cut your thread. Needle position button if you want your needle to end down or up when you stop sewing, which is very nice, especially if you're doing garment sewing and you're constantly pivoting. You have your presser foot lifter, which you can press here, or you can lift up manually on the back of this area, or you can use the knee lifter, which is also a really nice feature. However, once you learn how to use that pivoting feature, which is located right here, once you know how to use that pivoting feature, you're probably never going to use a knee lifter again. Anytime you let go of that foot pedal and you just stop sewing, it's going to automatically pick up your foot, and it gives you the ability to just pivot your material, and it's really, really convenient and very fast when you're going around corners and garments. Then of course we have our reverse stitch, which you would just press here while sewing, and it's going to go backwards and reverse. You can hold it down if you want to go farther back and all that stuff. You've got that quick little start stop button. So, oh, that's a cool little feature too I forgot to show. Bobbin thread is insufficient. So this machine does have a bobbin sensor, and what's cool about a bobbin sensor is it's actually got a laser in there that's projecting onto your bobbin and constantly updating your machine and telling it, hey, you got this much thread left, hey, you got this much thread left. It's not a counter, it's not guesstimating, it's actually an accurate representation of what you have in that bobbin area. One button I love to talk about is your speed control switch right here. This little lever, if I push down the pedal all the way right now, it's only going to go to halfway point of speed, and if I push down a little bit, I can go slow. So I can govern the speed with my foot pedal, but the maximum speed is going to be cut off at halfway point. If I go all the way up here, it's going to give me the full capability of the machine's 1300 stitches per minute. A lot of times you can use this to not only become more accurate when you're sewing, but also you can use it for free motion quilting and use it as like a little stitch regulation system. However, on this machine, you really don't need a stitch regulation system, because of course it comes with the ASR, the AcuFeed Stitch Regulation system, that is phenomenal and everybody loves it, and it comes with the machine out of the box. So we'll get to that soon when we talk about accessories. When you have a 13.5-inch throat space, sometimes it's not convenient to reach all the way over here and turn that hand wheel. So what we have created is a little needle up-down lever right here. It's a little thumb switch, so you could be moving your material and you're like, oh, I need my needle to come up a little bit, and you don't have to bring your hand all the way over to your hand wheel on the machine to rotate it. So that's a great feature. Of course, you've got the automatic needle threader, which is so easy to use. Just throw your thread through there, push that down, boom, it's done. One thing that I really love about Janome's machines is they make the stitch plates super, super easy to remove. All you have to do on this machine, press this little key button, and press this button right here, and watch this. Magic. The stitch plate literally lifts up automatically, giving you an easy removal and do a deep cleaning on this machine. Putting it back on is just as easy. You're just going to go ahead and put it on like this, drop it down. It like magnetizes, as you can see. That is just how easy it is to remove your stitch plate. Then of course you can lock your screen, so that way you don't bump into buttons and whatnot. Then we also have a QR code, because this machine comes with the AcuSpark app. And what that allows you to do is you can kind of go in there and play with different settings, learn about the machine, and then you can come back to your machine and start sewing. The next thing I love to touch on is this little question bar. Right here, you just press this little question mark, and it's going to tell you how to wind your bobbin when you click on this page. It's going to show you how to thread your machine when you click on this page, which I don't know if we've already touched on that, but threading the machine is extremely easy, and it's got little numbers and guides showing you everywhere you need to go. And it's got just a little bit about everything on this machine on how to use it. Attaching the ASR, attaching the cloth guide. So this is just a quick little help guide that comes with your machine, along with the app, along with a paperback, nice spiral instruction book. They make these larger machines very easy to navigate, and they also set you up for success with all of the support you can possibly get out of the machine. That brings me to talk about our support here at Janome Junkies. We started out as just support groups for these brands because my mom, Gigi, loved the machine brand so much. She loves Juki, she loves Janome. And now our whole entire business model is around support and making sure our customers get the answers and the support they need when they purchase products through us. We create such great content on our YouTube channels and great support on our Facebook groups that you usually get everything you might need with help or troubleshooting from our groups. And if you don't, you can send us an email or call us and we'll walk you through it on FaceTime or Skype or whatever you prefer. So with that out of the way, you get phenomenal support, not only from the machine, but from the dealership here at Janome Junkies and Juki Junkies. Now that we've talked about some of the support, we're gonna work our way up here. We've got our settings, so we can change our screen brightness. We can change just about everything, you know, the buzzer, inches, millimeters, whatever you prefer. Bobbin winding speed, which is kind of cool. Never knew that you could even change that, to be honest. You can change all the different sewing brightnesses on the machine, lighter, brighter. I think you're gonna always want it in the brightest setting. Clock display, date and time, you know, all of these fancy things. Change it to any language you might speak. And I'm not gonna go over every little detail on this machine because I think that'll be better fit for a deep dive video, but I just kind of wanted to highlight some of the things on here. Of course, your basic stitches. You've got I think 5 different fonts. Yeah, 5 different fonts, 12 different buttonholes, and 450 stitches on this machine. So I don't think you're ever gonna run out of things to sew and do on this machine. You also have your drop-down feed dog system, so you can switch it over to free motion quilting with just a little button. You got the little animations telling you different feet for recommendations on what you might be doing on this machine. And of course they break it down nice and neatly with little emblems telling you what each stitches might be used for. Now you can kind of go through this setting here and, oh, I want to do a gathering, I want to do eye stitching. When you click on that, it's going to show you, you know, the settings needed for that kind of stuff, the stitches needed, all that great stuff. So the machine navigation is nothing to be scared of. Now I also kind of want to drag my attention over here one more time. You might be wondering, where is the tension dial? Where is the pressure foot pressure on this machine? Well, on this machine, it is automatic. You don't really need to make an adjustment. It's gonna already make those adjustments based on what you might be selecting here and the materials you might be sewing. You can also do some refinement and adjustments in the settings if you needed to. So that is something really cool about this machine. A lot of customers are always scared of manual adjustments on tension, and you just don't have to worry about that on this machine. Right here, you have your quick adjustments for your stitch width, which this machine goes all the way up to 9 millimeters. And then you have your stitch length, which is 5 millimeters. Pretty standard, 5 millimeters on most machines, but the stitch width is ginormous, 9 millimeters. So you can really do a large zigzag and you can really do a variety of different decorative stitches with this machine. Now we're gonna start talking about those accessories. And now this is a lot of accessories to talk about because there's 66 accessories in the instruction book, in the manual. And I don't think we should really just name everything because I think you're gonna end up falling asleep by the time we're done doing that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just pop up a picture of all the accessories from the manual just on the screen. You'll be able to look through it, look at the names, figure out what interests you, and then we're gonna highlight some things that we like that come with the machine. And there's a lot, so we're still gonna be talking quite a bit. So anyways, let's get started with the accessories. We've got the extension table. This extension table is well thought out, very nice material, inked measuring tape. It's not a removable measuring tape. You've also got this little accessory tray, which is really nice. You can fit your bobbins, all that great stuff that you're going to be using all the time. And then of course, you've got your accessory storage container, whatever you want to call it. This is going to be where you're going to put all of your feet and accessories. I love that Janome always provides you with great storage containers for your accessories. This is a great way to stay organized and neat, which I love being organized and neat, so this is nice. You can label it, you can put CM8, that way you know what machine it is for if you have multiple machines. Then we're gonna talk about its foot pedal. What I love about it is it's a large flat face, and it's also very low. If you notice, the front of this foot pedal is very close to the floor. Sometimes foot pedals have a very thick front, and it makes it kind of uncomfortable to put your foot on. So this one makes it really nice and very easy to find your foot pedal. And it also comes with a 2-part function little button that goes on this little plate, and you can have your foot pedal and your cutter function right next to each other. It's really nice because you're not all on one foot pedal. You can kind of separate it and you can move your foot when you're deliberately trying to cut. Now this is something we definitely should highlight on a little bit more in depth. This is a beautiful container that holds your ASR system. And this is your ASR system right here. This little thing is what regulates your speed when free motion quilting, and this is what everybody wants to have when they're free motion quilting. Gives you the consistency of a professional on a long arm, but with the capability of using your small home sewing machine at home. And then it also comes with a variety of different feet. You got an open toe, echo quilting foot, and then of course you've got the ruler foot, I believe that is right there. And this just plugs into the back of the machine, and then you just mount it like a foot, Just put your feed dogs down and voila, you're ready to start free motion quilting with the ASR system. Now this little system is not cheap. If you have like a 9480 and you want to add this on, this is usually around $1,000 and it just comes directly with the machine out of the box. So I really like that that's a feature that's just included, because the last thing you want to do is buy an expensive machine and then have to buy an expensive accessory right after. So that's really nice. Then of course it comes with the AcuFeed system on this machine. Now you might be wondering, I've heard of that, but what is it? Well, the AcuFeed system is pretty much a souped up walking foot. So what that means is you can put a variety of different feet on your machine and they have walking feet built into them on the top, and you can change it out for different styles of feet. So if you want to use a more narrow foot, or if you want to use something that's just a different size, different application use, you can actually change it out. With most walking feet, you only have one foot you can use, and they're really big and bulky, and they're kind of ugly. Well, this machine, you can make your foot change into whatever foot you want that they have to offer, and you can still have that capability of having the feed dogs on top and the bottom, allowing you to sew through bulky, fluffy, thick materials with ease. So the AcuFeed foot is a really nice feature that's built into this machine. It also comes with a few of their other machines, so you might already have some experience with it, and it's really nice to use. So now that we've gone over the AcuFeed, the ASR, the foot pedal, the storage cabinets, I think we talked about this already, the user manual, but it comes in a nice spiral book, very easy to flip through, all nice and colored pictures, very great animations. So if you're that kind of person that wants to have something to highlight and break down, this book is great to have. And Janome is one of those companies that stands behind their products. They give you a 25-year warranty on this machine on all of the core components like the metal body, the frame, the feet, heavy duty parts, and then all the electronics, they give you a 5-year warranty. If you have purchased this machine from Janome Junkies, we give you a lifetime of support and customer service. So if you're outside of your warranty, but you still need help troubleshooting your machine, or you still need help figuring out what's going on, you call us, we help you out. The next thing we have here is the cover. This is a nice little cover, and it's a fabric cover with storage for all of your accessories and feet and all that kind of stuff can fit in this when you're storing it or if you're transporting it. This is a nice little cover. It's going to keep the dust off it when you're not using it, if it's at your second home, or maybe you're just wanting to bring it to a friend's house and you want to cover it and make sure it doesn't get scratched. Now, of course, I don't know if we already talked about this, but the buttonhole foot. This is a nice buttonhole foot, and it comes with your machine. Very easy to use. You can fit some really nice size buttons in this mechanism here, and the machine does a fantastic buttonhole. I believe it has 12 different buttonholes as well, so you have a variety to choose from. One other foot we could talk about is the HP foot. This foot is paired with the HP plate, and as you can see, there's only one hole there. And this is going to utilize just these 2 feed dogs and then this foot, and it's going to give you a very clean, crisp, straight stitch, but it's also going to feed materials very well because it's focused just in that little area and it's just a straight stitch. So if you have like an HT9 or a Juki TL, it's going to feel very similar when using this foot and also paired with this plate. And it also has a little walking foot kind of built in there that helps drag that material along. So it's a little bit of a superpower for this machine. This is going to be great for your piecing and your thick straight stitch sewing. And then of course, I think we've talked about the 3 stitch plates, but the stitch plate that's on the machine is going to be the universal jelly bean stitch plate. You can do just about anything on it. Then you also have this straight stitch plate here. This has multiple holes. If you didn't know this already, whenever you're sewing, if you have a large hole on your stitch plate, like the universal plate, your stitches are never going to look as crisp when using just a one straight stitch. But when you want to do a crisp, clean straight stitch, you want that singular hole for the needle to go through, because it's going to allow your fabric to not push down. It's going to give you a better quality stitch, and it's just going to give you a better outcome altogether. So you want to use these straight stitch plates and the different plates that it comes with, which is 3 different stitch plates. So now that we've gone over the machine and the accessories, let's summarize who this machine is going to be made for. And quite honestly, it's really made for all applications, but I would definitely like to highlight 3. Quilting. Quilting is going to be a perfect application for this machine because it has that large throat space, allowing you to put those large quilts through here and do that free motion quilting work. And of course, with the ASR, it takes all the guesswork out of it, and you can really just focus on painting the picture you want to paint when moving that quilt around on this machine. Now, not only that, but with those walking feet, making the straight line quilting on those thicker quilts very easy, and the stitch quality with the AcuFeed system, and just what it has to offer with all of the different features and stitches, it's going to be a phenomenal quilting machine. I don't think there's really anything that it's not going to shine in when using this machine for quilting. The next topic would be garment sewing. If you're doing a lot of clothes making and you're going over a variety of different materials from lightweight to heavyweight, this machine's got you covered. It goes up to 1,300 stitches per minute, which makes it a very powerful motor. So if you're trying to sew through some thick denim jackets, or if you're trying to sew through some really light stuff, it's gonna go right through it like butter. And of course, you can use that AcuFeed system as well to feed those thicker materials, and also use all of those 450 stitches and the 12 different buttonholes for all of the clothes making that you can imagine. You really can use this machine for just about everything with all of the features that it's packed in and all the accessories that come with it. And now the final one, which is bag making. This machine is phenomenal for bag making because of that motor and how fast it goes. It also has that super strong power behind it that's going to allow you to punch through those vinyls and go through those denims when sewing those thicker bags. Also, of course, highlighting the AcuFeed system again, it's going to want to feed through those materials really nice and easy, and it's going to really make beautiful, crisp, clean stitches. So really, if you're looking for a machine that can kind of do just about everything, but do it really, really well, this machine is going to be that machine. It's definitely the mothership of all machines when it comes to focusing on the sewing aspect. If you're looking to get this machine and you're just interested on learning more information about it, be sure to hit us up with our phone number that we're going to list down below, and also our email, which we're going to also list down below. We'd love to reach out to you and talk to you guys and give you more information on this machine. If you're local, be sure to stop into our local shop and ask about these machines. If you ever don't see a machine at the local shop, it might be over here getting a video made on it. So just ask when you come on in. We ship things out either same day or next day. Whenever the order comes through, I'm printing those orders. I'm making sure they're getting shipped out either that day or the next business day. Make sure to head over to our website where you can find machines, accessories, notions, and more. And if you ever see a machine on our website like this one where there's no price, give us a call and we can get you the price for the machine and talk about it more in depth. We hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to give us a like. I challenge you to give us comments down below and ask us any questions you might have, or highlight your favorite features and accessories that come with this machine. Hit that subscribe button because we post every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope to see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.